First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
We are awaiting results of an autopsy right now to confirm what police believe about a missing sailor.
The wife of 43-year-old Sean Hatfield says police found his body last night in their home. Hatfield has been missing since New Year's Day, along with a gun and his cell phone. Police say there are no signs of foul play, but Hatfield's wife tells 10 on Your Side's Ann McNamara she still has doubts that this is a suicide. Ann?
Tom, Nikki Hatfield stayed in town center overnight, and she stayed here most of the day today because she says her house, it just gives her the creeps. Police are there investigating the attic. That's where she says they found her husband's body. Police search with helicopters, canines, and dozens of volunteers for second-class petty officer Sean Hatfield, the 43-year-old Virginia Beach man missing for 11 full days until his wife saw blood on the walls of their garage Thursday night.
There wasn't a spot of blood. It was top to bottom, ceiling to floor.
The family searched in the attic directly above, finding only a hammer and Sean's cell phone. But behind a piece of plywood, police found a hidden crawl space and his body. The family said there was no visible blood in the attic and no smell of decay.
I don't feel like he would do this to me. I don't feel... why would he be in a wall? I mean, none of it makes any sense to me.
Holding their engagement photo close to her heart, Sean's wife, Nikki, tells us she has reason to believe her husband didn't kill himself. Police told her boxes were piled in front of the doorway to the room where they found his body, and the front door was unlocked.
We never use the front door. The only time we use the front door is if someone comes to our house and rings the doorbell and we open the front door.
And there are those who doubt Nikki and her story, who wonder if she was involved in her husband's death. We asked her point blank.
It makes me angry if someone thinks that I have anything to do with this, because it's ridiculous and they don't know. They don't know him and they don't know me.
Nikki acknowledged Sean struggled with depression and online gambling in his past, and she's been making phone calls to his old friends, searching for any possible enemies or answers.
I want to go home.
And the wait could be a little bit longer for the Hatfield family. The medical examiner's office is on holiday today. It's also on holiday on Monday. So again, it may take a little while to get that autopsy and the answers that Nikki Hatfield and her family are waiting for. For now, in Virginia Beach, I'm Ann McNamara, 10 on Your Side.
Oh, there is still no sign of a missing VCU student from New Kent County. Investigators are checking security cameras in the New York City subway. Detectives say Ian Burnett's Metro card was used on December 30th, the day he disappeared. Through interviews, police learned he tried to commit suicide at least 3 times in the past. Police say they will continue to search the shorelines of the Hudson River. A young Navy sailor is charged with felony abuse in connection with the death of a 4-month-old baby. This is 22-year-old Micah Patterson. Police say he is the boyfriend of the baby's mom. The baby, Aubrey Hands, died Wednesday. Police say the mother left Patterson to babysit while she went to the grocery store. The medical examiner will determine the baby's exact cause of death. Meantime, Patterson is being held without bond.
Norfolk police are investigating a shooting. This happened about 3:30 this afternoon on East Virginia Beach Boulevard. The officers say the victim was conscious and talking when crews took him to the hospital, and police say they are still looking at the circumstances surrounding this shooting. We'll stay on top of it. Now, in one moment, the actions of 2 children forever changed the lives of so many. Tonight, a neighborhood will remember a 12-year-old girl killed by a bullet. The girl's mother says it was Russian roulette. Then on Your Side's Jason Marks is live in Chesapeake now, where candles will light the memory of Carolyn Walker. Jason.
Yeah, Tom, that vigil beginning at sundown, but as you can see, a lot of the community has already began to gather. That's the very spot where police found the 12-year-old's body that Tuesday night. That's when that shooting happened. Now, it should be, as mentioned, a very emotional night as the community says goodbye to Carolyn Walker.
A memorial for a 12-year-old girl continues to grow. Teddy bears, balloons, and heartfelt messages mark the spot where she took her last breath.
We're all gonna miss her.
It's been an emotionally draining week for everyone who lives in Owens Village. The shock still hasn't worn off. Police say a 13-year-old was playing with a gun when it went off. 12-year-old CC Walker was hit in the head and died.
This is my first time going through this, and it's not easy.
10 on Your Side spoke with Cece's mother, Lisa, the day after the tragedy. She believes the 13-year-old was playing a game similar to Russian roulette with the gun. But even with all the pain, she forgives the boy.
I just want to know why. I'm not questioning God why. I'm questioning the little boy that why he had to have the gun.
Chesapeake police still haven't said where the gun came from. The 13-year-old has been charged with manslaughter and is being held in juvenile detention.
Yeah, still a lot of unanswered questions for Walker's family, but tonight they'll be here. Tonight's not about the suspect, in this case a 13-year-old boy. It's really about her and who she was in her life. As you can see, we are expecting a big crowd out here. Of course, we're going to stay out here. We'll show you what's going on at 6 o'clock. We do expect that vigil to begin as soon as the sun goes down. But for now, that's the latest here in Chesapeake. Jason Marks, 10 on Your Side.
13-year-old boy accused in this shooting faces manslaughter. He's due back in court next month.
Timothy Shock's Brothers in Blue will hold a memorial bicycle ride to honor the officer who died while on duty. Shock died last month during a dive training exercise at Oak Grove Lake Park in Chesapeake. Tomorrow's memorial ride is open to everyone. It's also a fundraiser, so there is a $10 donation to register. The ride starts at 8 o'clock in the morning at Fat Frogs in Chesapeake. The wind roared across Hampton roads today.
I don't know how else you'd say it. Look at the flag there. There's a good evidence of what happened today. So when will things start calming down? That's the question.
And how's the weekend looking? The all-important question. Let's ask meteorologist Mike Goldberg. Mike, that literally takes your breath away out there.
It really does. Quite a chill. And compared to yesterday, wow, what a change in the air. Temperatures were in the 60s yesterday and the 40s today, which is perfectly normal for this time of the year. But you throw in that wind, and it really was harsh out there. We're still going to have wind gusts this evening to about 30 to 35 miles an hour. And then the wind will start to diminish later on tonight. Those are the current wind gusts being reported. 29 miles an hour out at the beach, 25 in Newport News, 25 also out on the eastern shore. The wind chill factor is how it feels outside right now, and that is in the 30s across the region. The actual temperature is up at 44 degrees. We have clear skies, some snow out in West Virginia. That's not coming our way overnight, just a few scattered clouds and temperatures falling down into the upper 20s. I'll have your complete weekend forecast and 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
Thanks, Mike. We have new information about the police standoff that was breaking news last night at 11. It started around 9 o'clock when officers tried to serve a warrant on a Portsmouth robbery suspect. Police say that suspect, 21-year-old Daniel McClenny, barricaded himself inside an apartment on 36th Street near Colley Avenue in Norfolk. He surrendered peacefully about 2 hours later. McClenny is now in Portsmouth police custody. 3 Suffolk teenagers are charged with attempted murder and arson. Police say it is in connection with a fire that happened at a home on North 5th Street in Suffolk in November. They also tell us that these 3 teens are members of the Lloyd Street Gang, or LSG, and that they set that fire, which was designed to kill someone, as part of a recruitment into the gang. The house burned to the ground, but no one was hurt.
The attorney for former Virginia Governor Doug Wilder denies money for a slavery museum is missing. The city of Fredericksburg wants an investigation into a discrepancy of $1.6 million. But Wilder's attorney, Sandra Robinson, says the money went toward, quote, various fixed assets. The museum, which was to be built in Fredericksburg, filed for Chapter 11 protection last September. And Thurbia Parker turned to 10 on Your Side for help getting back $75,000 worth of artifacts he gave to Wilder for the museum. Those artifacts are in storage.
If you need a job, thousands of them are up for grabs in Williamsburg. Busch Gardens and Water Country USA are hiring. The 2 theme parks will be holding a job fair tomorrow. They need ride operators, food vendors, shopkeepers, performers, lifeguards, and more. So if you're interested, show up at the Fest House in Busch Gardens, Germany tomorrow between 10 and 2. Just take Route 60 to the delivery entrance of the park.
3 local teens hauled away from their high school in handcuffs. The crime police say they committed.
And the city has spent millions trying to revitalize downtown Norfolk, but some city neighborhood leaders were in an uproar when they heard a go-go bar was moving in. The potential restaurant owner says that is not the case. 10 on Your Side talked to the owner of the establishment that's trying to set up shop. Hear what we found out.
But first, a man opens fire inside a North Carolina warehouse. What police say he did after that rampage.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5. with Tom Shad, Nicole Libas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
At least 3 people are dead after a shooting at a lumber company in North Carolina. The shooting happened at McBride Lumber Company in Star, North Carolina, east of Charlotte. Witnesses say the gunman was an angry employee. After the shooting, the gunman left the yard, went to his home, and shot himself. He is still alive and was taken to the hospital. Along with the 3 killed, 1 other person was hurt.
This is the worst thing we've had as far as this much violence. And it just shows the potential is everywhere. Small town USA, big city USA.
Police say the shooter left a note, but they did not give any of the details.
A suspected killer in Aruba became a confessed killer in Peru. Jordan Vandersloot's guilty plea got him 28 years. Police say Vandersloot met 21-year-old Stephanie Flores at a casino in Lima, where she was later found dead in his hotel room. Now, Vandersloot is the prime suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Natalie Holloway in Aruba, but was never charged with that. His lawyers say he killed Flores because of psychological trauma from being hounded in the Holloway case. More on today's courtroom developments at 5:30.
The FDA is holding all imported orange juice products at the border because tests show they may contain an illegal fungicide. Coca-Cola, which produces Minute Maid orange juice, ran some routine tests, and they found trace amounts of carbendazim. That's a chemical used in other countries to control disease in plants. It is not approved in the U.S. FDA officials are now testing products on the border and on store shelves. So far, the results are all negative.
An unusual recall, the product pulled from the shelves at Bed Bath & Beyond because of radiation concerns.
And city leaders think someone is trying to open a go-go bar in downtown Norfolk, but 10 on your side heard from the man who's trying to set up the shop. Tonight, he says he wants to clear the confusion about his business proposal. Is there a difference between go-go dancing and costume dancing? That is the issue that is creating a great deal of concern right now in downtown Norfolk.
You see, a business applied for costume dancing, but the fear is costume becomes go-go dancing. Let's hear Andy Fox's explanation here. A controversial new business applying for approval in Norfolk. Andy, what's going on?
That's why words on these applications are so important. They could send the wrong message. The business owner says he wants a South Beach, Miami type restaurant. The residents think they could get go-go dancing, and all that goes with it.
I think that they're misguided if they think that there's any chance that that sort of business could open up in downtown Norfolk.
Downtown Norfolk Civic League President Kevin Murphy and others have been told a go-go bar type establishment could be put in the former La Galleria restaurant building.
So it's just very nervy on their part to think they can just come downtown and admit to some of the folks in Plains the type of bar it's going to be, that it's going to be a go-go bar.
No, it's not going to be a go-go bar at all. And somebody in the city of Norfolk needs to get their facts straight before they end up spreading lies.
Building owner Jack Shucks says this type of activity, go-go dancing, is not part of his plans, not part of them.
It is a restaurant, an upper-end restaurant that will have live music and a DJ.
The building is in the middle of an upscale condo community. The Tidewater Community College is next door. Shucks says he was told by city planning to put down everything that could go on in the restaurant as part of the application process. So he put down costume dancing.
You know, I was told of another place that has Moroccan dancers. It's a Moroccan thing. So in Norfolk that they just did that. So they said you might want to put costume dancers down. So, okay. So we did.
What is certain, there has been a huge disconnect between business owner and community residents.
So costume dancers, if you want to classify that as a go-go dancer, it's not what the intent was.
One of the complicating factors with the application process, an owner of the Atlanta's Gentlemen's Club, where Norfolk police officer Victor Decker was last seen alive, was thought to be a part owner of the project.
No, that is incorrect. That person wanted to become part owner of this business.
And what did you say?
It just didn't work out.
So, Shuck's application was kicked back to him because it was incomplete. He has to fill it in more. The Planning Commission must act on the application with a recommendation to City Council. The City Council will fully vet the application, and I'm told if there's even a hint of go-go type activity, the application will surely be denied. We'll keep you updated on this story. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
My hands are still cold.
Yeah, and you know what?
From the morning walk, okay?
I seriously wasn't kidding earlier, Mike, when I said it takes your breath away. The wind was coming out my face this morning. I had to turn because I couldn't catch my breath.
Yeah, the wind is the big story today because the temperatures really weren't that bad considering that it's January, but it makes it feel so much colder. We've had wind gusts to 35, 40 miles an hour pretty much all day long.
Wow.
The good news is that's going to diminish overnight, but it's going to stay quite cold. In fact, get even colder. By morning, we'll be in the 20s, and during the day over the weekend, probably at best the lower 40s tomorrow and the upper 30s on Sunday. So quite a chill will be in the air. Super Doppler 10 right now is showing that we have no precipitation to worry about. All is quiet. And Tower Cam, a beautiful shot. That was bouncing up and down around the noon hour today, and now the wind letting up just a bit. We still have occasional gusts that will be up over 30 miles an hour at times through the early evening hours. So gusty winds for the evening. The wind will let up later on tonight, and for the weekend, it's going to be chilly, but it will be dry. We check out current numbers, 44 in Norfolk, 42 down in Elizabeth City, 45 in Hatteras. So temperatures along the coast in the 40s. Inland, we're in the 30s. You throw in the effect of the wind, and that's what it feels like in Hampton Roads. The wind chill factor in the mid and upper 30s, while it feels like it's in the 20s out in western Virginia. A lot of cold air across the Great Lakes, and that has set the stage for major league snow here. Up to 8 inches of snow fell in Chicago last night. They're getting some heavy snow in Cleveland, Buffalo, up to Syracuse, New York. A nasty night up there. We've got the cold, but we certainly do not have the snow. In fact, we've had a lot of bright sunshine all day long. Just a few little clouds coming up from the south here may pass on by as we go into the overnight hours, but for the most part, things will be quiet as the wind again dies down. The big storm wrapping up here and headed out to the northeast into the Canadian Maritimes. So future track showing tonight again a few clouds coming by. This is about 2 o'clock in the morning. Nothing to worry about though, and skies will completely clear out again for the morning. We're in for a very nice Saturday, a mixture of sunshine, a few clouds in the afternoon. Very chilly though, and that cold weather is going to stick with us. The core of the cold will actually be along the East Coast on Sunday, and that will be the coldest day of the weekend. Despite a lot of sunshine, I think temperatures will stay in the 30s. Overnight tonight, breezy, cold along the outer banks of North Carolina. Out in Nags Head, 34 degrees, but the wind could be gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour, mainly during the evening. Inland here into the mid and upper 20s. For south side, we're also looking at gusty breezes for the evening. That wind dies down later on. At the beach, 29 for the overnight low, but inland down into the mid-20s. Around Franklin, 25 degrees. Up the peninsula, we've still got those gusty winds for the evening, mid to upper 20s overnight. The strongest winds overnight will be up along the eastern shore, where we still could see gusts over 30 miles per hour at times. Up on the northern neck, mid to upper 20s for overnight lows. Tomorrow's a chilly day. The wind will lighten up just a bit, so it won't feel quite as bitter as it did today. Temperatures, though, only topping out in the low 40s, and your 7-day forecast still very chilly on Sunday. Check that out, a high in the upper 30s. Sunday night's down well into the 20s. Then some moderation by Tuesday. We're well into the 50s. Another front brings a few showers and another brief shot of cooler air Wednesday and Thursday. That's the latest on our forecast.
Google updated its search engine, why some groups now want the federal government to investigate the changes.
And President Obama has a big idea, but he needs the help of Congress. New at 5:30, we're on your side breaking down the president's plans for what he calls a leaner government. Google it. Well, that command is now taking on a wider meaning. Google is now blending information such as photos, comments, and news posted on Google's social network into users' search results. Google says it's trying to make searches more personalized, but the Electronic Privacy Information Center, a watchdog group, wants the Federal Trade Commission to look at this. It's concerned that information could get a little too personal.
Hey, 10 on your side, consumer alert now. Big Lots is recalling more than 43,000 floor lamps sold in its stores. There's a risk of electrical shock from the wiring. Also, the lamp can put out enough heat to melt the plastic shade over the bulbs. If you have this lamp right here, stop using it and return it to Big Lots for a full refund. Now, check your tissue box holders. A major retailer is also recalling some that contain radioactive material. Bed Bath & Beyond sold the dual ridge metal tissue holder in stores and online since July. A spokesperson says the level of radioactive material is low and there really is no health risk, but they're telling customers to return them for a full refund just to be safe.
This Virginia fourth grader thought he was sitting down to a typical lunch, but it wasn't typical. Someone special was right outside in the hall. We're going to show you this school surprise next.
And no more free medication samples at several local doctors' offices. We're going to be on your side getting answers about why. New at 5:30.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Do you think this...
Test check 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Surprise, surprise, surprise. That's what happened to a Virginia fourth grader at school. His dad came home early from Afghanistan and stopped by for a bite.
Yeah, you think I can get some of that lunch?
Dad! Notice the delayed reaction there. That happy homecoming took place yesterday in Vinton. It's north of Roanoke. Oh my, he's so surprised. The last time father and son saw each other was way back on May 14th.
I missed him a lot, and I'm really glad that he's home.
He's a lot taller. A lot taller than I remember, but still the same kid.
They grow up quickly, don't they? Dominic quickly packed up his lunch and left school to spend time with Dad. Sergeant Matthews, he's set to return to Afghanistan January 21st. We're not going anywhere. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.